Yo, what is up? Today we're gonna be doing a video on what to do when you don't feel like exercising. So basically, I think this is a very like common issue, like with any pursuit. With any pursuit that takes like constant inputs, I guess, to like achieve, you're gonna have days where you're gonna have off days. You're gonna have days where you don't feel like showing up to the office. You're gonna have days where you don't feel like showing up to the gym, where you don't feel like doing leg day, you don't feel like doing cardio. And the way I personally like usually get over it, like there's a lot of, don't get me wrong, no one's perfect, including me, and especially me. I'm not perfect yet. So there's days where like I don't feel like doing things and I end up not doing it. But the days where I'm able to do it, there's a few things that I do to kind of make it still happen. Um, a big thing, I make sure to look at the things that inspire me. So in days where I'm not feeling like going to the gym, I'll like watch a video on like, I'll watch a Mike Thurston video, or I'll scroll through TikTok, or having searched like aesthetic bodies and like look at that. Especially like with like diet and cardio, that's like what I look at. I look at aesthetic bodies, those PSL like model videos. That's what I use to like motivate myself. Sometimes I'll watch like a looks maxing video while eating the food that I'm eating, so that like it kind of motivates me to continue, like not push any further, in terms of calories and stuff. Um, watch a Mike Thurston video, see like the buffness, to kind of get me in the mood for it. Another thing, a big thing that I do is I have like playlists that I only really play in the gym, or even if I'm playing them outside the gym, I play them with like me being jacked and stuff in mind. So one of the things that I used to do and still do is if I don't feel like going to the gym, I just start playing the songs to kind of get me in the mood for being in the gym. Um, a big one, a more reliable one is maybe not more reliable, but for some people it might be, is I kind of mentally remind myself of my goals, and remind myself that it's a big thing of now where it's a relatively new thing, this specific like line that I use, but I basically say just because you're having like a bad day doesn't mean that you should make your future worse. That's how I like. It's a relatively new saying, like a last week kind of thing, because I was having a bit of a rough week, and one of the things that I noticed that I do is that I'm a bit of a comfort eater. So whenever I have like those urges, like don't get me wrong, I failed like to them like a few times, but like basically, I would fall to the urge, but then I'll like kind of fix it up with like the same. Because I'd be like, don't let you're having a bad day, but don't let this bad day make it worse for you in the future, right? And what ended up happening, I'd like buy like Krispy Kremes and I'd eat like three donuts, and like each of them is like 400, 500 calories, and my calorie goal is like 1,500. So basically, I'd eat that, and that would be all I've eaten throughout the day. And I'd basically keep it like that. I'd be like, okay, I guess I fall into the temptation, but I can't let it I can't let it like make my future worse. So this is all I'm eating for the day, so that I'm still within the deficit, right? And you should think about it the same way in terms of like if you're going to the gym, you should be like, hey, me today's a bit of a hard day. Today's a bad day, but let me not let this bad day make my future worse, so that you go anyway, even if because you'd rather have a bad workout than no workout. So you you just need to get yourself there. If you don't feel like going to the gym, you probably you gotta like make it a lighter load mentally, like in terms of what you're going to do. So instead of thinking, oh, I gotta go to the gym to do leg day, just think I gotta go to the gym. Like my goal is to get to the gym. As long as I'm at the gym, I'll do something. Even if like there's been a few times where I've gone there for leg day, I've gotten inside, I've done like one set of legs, like one set of squats, and been like, yeah, I'm done with that. I'm not doing any more. Done one set of extensions, one set of curls. Like I was done. Like I've had days like that where I've gone in and basically done like the bare, like slightly below minimum. Like the bare minimum is just showing up actually. I've done the bare minimum and I've gone home. Done the bare minimum, done some cardio, gone home. But those days were monumentally better. I would have rather had those days than the days where I just don't show up at all, because at the least there's like the discipline of like showing up. So you'd rather just show up. Find any reason that like would motivate you. Like for me, as I said, I like looking at other people. I'm some people say comparison is the thief of joy. Me personally, I enjoy comparison. Uh, I'm someone who enjoys comparison just because like comparison is only the thief of joy if you don't see yourself as capable of attaining like something of that level, or if you're like delusional. Some people are delusional in like how they think. Because for me, when I like look at Mike Thurston, I don't think, oh, I wish I looked like him as much as I do. It's not like I wish I looked like him. The way I see it is more, man, I can't wait until I have a comparable physique to that. Because me personally, I'm lucky in that like I have pretty decent genetics, like shape wise and stuff. So when I look at him, I'm like, man, I can't wait for like in like 20 now, like 25 years, I'm gonna look like that. That's crazy. But like only if I do what I need to do now. If I don't do what I need to do now, then I just won't look like that 25 years from now. So I gotta get to the drawing board. I look at someone who's like closer to my age, a year older, a year younger, and I see them like being all aesthetic and lean, and I'm like, some people might be like, oh, that's not me. I'm just like, damn, I need to get there, because I can. Like in my mind, not even in my mind, I can get there. So why would it be sad that someone got there first? All it just means is that like I have somewhere to aim for. Like there's this one guy, there's this one guy from my high school that like I still like we weren't even friends. Like I was friendly with everyone in high school. But like me and him weren't particularly close. I can't remember a single conversation that like we actually had. Um, but I still follow him purely because I enjoy comparison. Like he's really jacked. And for me, he's like the only person that's like my direct peer that like posts his physique like frequently enough, right? So I use him as like motivation for like getting better. So I see him like doing a cut. I'm like, oh, can't wait till I'm like still I'm like doing this as well, and I'm just like directly comparing us and stuff, or he's lifting this much. I mean, I don't really focus too much on the lifts. He's like really strong, but like the lifts aren't really like a big focus of mine personally. It's usually just physique based. But the point is, I follow him purely for comparison. That's the only reason, bro. Like we were not friends. We never had a conversation. But I follow him because I enjoy comparison. So do that, compare yourself to other people, because when you're comparing yourself to other people that like you view as like you can get there, then in your mind it's kind of just like you kind of reminds you that the only way you'll get there is if you do what you need to do. That's how you got to look at like comparison. Don't focus on like, oh man, I don't look like that. You got to be like, oh shoot, I can't wait until I look something like comparable to that, like something that people view on the same level. So yeah, those are like my little souls for lack of going to the gym motivation, days where you don't feel like it. The main one I would say is just the saying of don't let a bad day make your future worse. Make it harder for your future. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helped you with going to the gym, whether today or tomorrow or 2 weeks from now. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you want to say something, comments. Share this video with your pet iguana, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.